one with the late Thanksgiving. Break out the tissues. It's the last Thanksgiving episode of Friends ever. Monica and Chandler don't want to host Thanksgiving, but Phoebe goads Monica into topping what she did last year, knowing just how to manipulate her. Phoebe and Rachel dabble in the child beauty pageant world, upsetting Joey when he finds out they took Alicia Mae Immorti's cowboy outfit for Emma to wear. Things devolve from there, with everyone being late and Chandler being distracted from cranberry sauce duties by the Rangers game. Monica and Chandler finally lock everyone out, with Monica declaring Thanksgiving is over. The vein has spoken. Joey breaks down the door, smashing Monica's food, but she doesn't care because she gets the call that she and Chandler are getting a baby. The one with the list, in which Monica's boss is trying to push the terrible mockolate, and she's tasked with coming up with Thanksgiving-themed recipes using the foaming fake chocolate with a lingering aftertaste. Phoebe says it best. This is what evil must taste like. Ross breaks up with Julie, finally declares his love for Rachel they had just kissed in the previous episode. Of course, then, he discovers the pros and cons list Ross Chandler and Joey made about her and Julie. After Chandler sweats through some terrible improv writing, Ross and Rachel have a fight. He attempts to win her back with a rainy pro list on the balcony. But even dedicating Up Woes with or without you to her on the radio doesn't do the trick. The one where Chandler doesn't like dogs, in which the stakes game takes Joey and Ross to task and Chandler's dog hatred comes to light thanks to the addition of clunkers to the gang. Phoebe is the dog in and out of the apartment and gets caught when Monica sees Joey feeding it her stuffing from Ross's apartment across the way. Faced with a choice between the dog and Chandler, the gang chooses the dog, but Phoebe and Monica take clunkers to Ross's apartment anyway, and eventually Chandler starts to feel bad. Ross finally finishes the stakes game so he can eat his Thanksgiving meal in the middle of the night. He's nearly weepy with the revelation of Delaware, but Chandler points out that he got Nevada twice. I know, he says and digs into the turkey. Just let a man eat. In Rachel news, this is the one where Tag kisses her. The one with Rachel's other sister, in which Rachel's sister Amy shows up unexpectedly and is included in Thanksgiving dinner because her married boyfriend cancels on her. Ever the charmer, she starts a discussion about how she'd take care of Emma if Ross and Rachel died. They tell Amy that they would want Emma to be raised by Monica and Chandler, and she just can't believe it. Chandler then finds out that if Monica dies, Emma would go to Ross's parents. Amy, stewing over the Emma thing, starts a fight with Rachel, with Monica jumping in to save her wedding china. After Chandler brokers a peace between the sisters, Ross decides that he would be a great godfather to Emma. Joey, meanwhile, totally forgot he was supposed to be on a Days of Our Lives float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and turns to Phoebe for some good cover stories. The one where Ross got high. The one with the football. It's Jello Bowl time. As the girls make Thanksgiving food, the guys watch football, and the idea of playing some little more than touch football in the park comes up. Monica and Ross tell the gang they aren't allowed to play football because of their extremely competitive past behavior in the Jello Bowl. But, as Monica says, it's been 12 years, so what could go wrong? The past is in the past plenty. The one with the rumor. The one with Chandler in a box. Monica and Phoebe prepare Thanksgiving dinner, but when Monica gets ice in her eye, Phoebe has to take over. This leads to a last-minute eye doctor appointment with Richard's hottie son. He joins the gang for dinner, but after a kiss, he and Monica both admit it's all just too weird. Chandler spends the episode in the doghouse with Joey because he kissed Kathy, doing penance in a wooden box. Kathy breaks up with him while he's in the box, and sweet Joey has a change of heart in support of his pal. This is also the one where no one wants Rachel for Secret Santa. The one with all the Thanksgivings. This episode is a callback to awful Thanksgivings past, beginning with Chandler's flashback to 1978, when his mom Morgan Fairchild tells him that his father would rather sleep with their houseboy than with her. Phoebe recalls one of her past lives, when she was an army field nurse and lost an arm. Chandler, Phoebe, and Monica tell the story about Joey getting Monica's turkey stuck on his head so he could scare Chandler, and there's a lot of time spent looking back at the Friends when they were awkward in the 80s. You'll also remember this episode as the one where Monica put a turkey on her head, complete with a fez and sunglasses, and Chandler blurt out that he loved her. The one where Underdog gets away. The OG Friends Thanksgiving episode. You might also refer to this one as where Monica made a wide variety of potato dishes to appease Ross, Joey, and Felix's traditions. It also found the gang stuck in the apartment, thanks to a wayward Underdog balloon during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In Rachel's world, everyone had pooled some cash so she could join her family for Thanksgiving in Vail. Joey, meanwhile, was off posing for what becomes a venereal disease ad with billboards and posters popping up all over New York. Chandler, establishing a trend, hates Thanksgiving.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.